Got it on your mind?
This thing. Yeah, you think I can remember that.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you all for coming out. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I would like to call this regular meeting of the Lahaina City Council to order. Today is July 21st, 2025. The time is now 6 p.m. If we could all rise for the invocation. Gracious God, we come before you with gratitude for the opportunity to serve our city. We ask for your wisdom and guidance to be upon our city council members and staff as they make decisions for the well-being of our community. May their deliberations be guided by your grace and truth, leading to decisions that promote justice, peace, and prosperity for all. We pray for unity and understanding among the council members and for the strength to work together for the common good. We also pray for the citizens of our city that they may be blessed with your love and protection. In your holy name, we offer this prayer. Amen.
Amen.
If you could stay standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Ramirez,
Present.
Velasquez,
Here.
Stoker,
Present.
Ayala, Ochoa,
Here.
Pantoya,
Here.
Rickoff.
Present. Okay, we're gonna start a little different here from what the agenda says because the plays in the park have a practice right after this, so we're gonna call them up.
Hi, we are with.
Hold on.
Okay. Hi, there she is. We're with Plays in the Park here in La Junta at La Junta Livewell Park. And if you can't tell, this summer we are doing Annie. This is our little orphan Annie. Do you want to introduce yourself?
It's a little high. Hi, I'm Marilyn Hollis, and I play Annie, and it's a very fun experience.
She's the most adorable Annie ever. Well, we just wanted to give some quick information about our show. It is this week. It is July 24th, 25th, and 26th. So we open on Thursday. Our doors open at 6:30, and all of our shows are at 7 p.m. We perform at La Junta Livewell Park, which is 3rd and Santa Fe Avenue. If the weather were to be bad, or it would be too hot, or there'd be rain, we would go inside at the Colorado Times Square building, which I believe is on Colorado Avenue. This is a bring your own seating event outdoor, so that could be camping chairs, picnic blankets, loungers, anything that you'd like to bring to stay cozy. It's a fun picnic park experience. And if you'd like to purchase tickets beforehand, you can hop on over to our Facebook page, which is at Plays in the Park 2. And we also have our QR code right here, but I realized that here, it's right there. But you can find this online at Plays in the Park, or you can buy them at the door. And we just wanted to give you all a quick sneak peek of our show today. And we have our Annie here who wants to sing you all a little song.
Okay. So maybe now this prayer's the last one of its kind. Won't you please come get your baby? Maybe.
Thank you, Ryan. Rylan. And yes, that's just a little bit of the talent that you would see with all of the wonderful talent we have in the Valley in this show. So come out and support the arts. Our opening night is on Thursday. Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Very cool.
Okay, we're going to be going into executive session.
I make a motion to go into executive session pursuant to CRS 24-6-4024E to determine positions relative to matters that may be subject to negotiations, develop strategy, and instruct negotiations regarding a potential letter of intent related to city-owned land.
We're going into executive. Oh, sorry. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? Okay, can I get your vote? Motion passes. The recording will still be running while we go in executive session.
It means I'll hear everything you say about me. I'll hear everything you say about We'll be back with the remainder of the Lahana City Council public meeting right here on seconews.org.
Can I ask you both for your votes? Okay, motion passes. Citizen participation. You have a 5-minute time limit per person. Come up and give your name and address.
Here we go. It's going to start that way.
I like this already. Let me get my crown out.
Yeah.
The recording starts now.
Thank you very much. And thank you for giving a little bit of an interlude between when the theater folks, the girls were presenting. That would have been a hard act to follow, I think.
Yeah, I can't sing.
Yeah, that's right. We could do the Marine Corps hymn. Moving right along.
We got 5 minutes.
Yeah. This, my name's Tim Snyder. They call me Radar. You met me last year, and I have with me Michael Cook, who's our first vice commander for the American Legion. I serve as the adjutant, the company clerk. That's where the Radar comes from. We're here to visit with you this evening about Wreaths Across America. We spoke with you about that last year. It worked out very, very well. Thank you for your support, and we're asking for your continued support this year. If you'll recall last year's December 14th, placed a wreath on the gravesite of every military veteran in La Junta and surrounding cemeteries. And we even were able to donate an additional 300 wreaths to the Fort Lyon Cemetery, which contains the remains of many of people from La Junta, veterans from La Junta. This year, December 13th, 10 a.m., Saturday, at the cemetery. We would certainly invite your attendance, participation. It will be a grand event, particularly because of its emphasis on the youth of our community. If you noticed, last year we had team captains that were all youth. We had teams comprising of youth and some adults, and they went out and distributed those wreaths, and it was very touching to watch them. We saw a video of one looked like about a 5-year-old boy teaching his 3-year-old sister how to salute as they placed that wreath, and so touching and so nice. So that's what we do. Spirit of Americanism at its finest. We do have order forms here that, for anyone that would like to have one. And I'm going to make sure that our city manager has one here. Last year, I think what the city council do, Mike, I'm sure they purchased like 1,000 wreaths.
It was close.
Yeah. You know, 10 wreaths, and they're $17 a piece for $170 contribution if you feel so inclined this year. And we would encourage your support of, I'm looking for the two chiefs, Chief Quick and Chief Davidson also, and they also supported at the same level last year. And so that's our presentation. And do you have any questions for us?
No questions, but thanks for doing it. Appreciate it very much.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'll give you that too.
Thanks so much.
I will mention though, on the wreaths, secondary, when it is time to pick them up, I'll give you my contact information because I'm part of another organization that actually reuses the wreaths as fish habitats.
Oh, nice.
So we will be glad to take a bunch of the wreaths away instead of going to the dumpster.
Oh my goodness, we
So-
need to talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be, we do try to salvage the metal that's on them and that sort of thing, but to have an even higher purpose, that'd be awesome. Yeah, thanks so much. Okay, we're good?
Except for 5.
Madam Vice Mayor, may I interject, please? Hey, Radar. So I'm just going to go ahead and say we're going to do 10. The city will do 10.
Oh, that'd be
Yeah.
awesome.
We
Thanks.
get all that filled out and submit it to you.
All right, thank you so
Thanks.
much. And I believe our good friend here is going to talk to police and fire force on that.
She's good at that.
Thank you.
I did all 3 of them last year.
Yes.
So I'm just gonna come get them.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm just kidding. You get it later.
Yeah, she was our lifeline last year for making the connections. It was awesome.
That's why I asked for 2 more.
All right. All right. Thanks, y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have anyone else for citizen participation?
I just want to remind everybody that the rescheduled Arkansas Valley Brew Fest will be this Saturday night, 6 to 11 p.m., Santa Fe Plaza. We'd love for you all to come.
We're looking forward to it.
Tickets are $25 each. You have to be 21 years old. And you can buy a ticket in advance at Zephy. If you need the QR code, if you let me know, I can send it to you. So, thank you.
Thank you, Nancy.
Thanks, Nancy.
Anyone else for citizens participation? Community event announcements. We have the Plays in the Park. Do any council members have any community events?
Partnering community, just a reminder that the La Sandia project is going on in Rifleford this weekend, 10 to 7. It's got some of the art project mixed into that with a lot of other things going on, and you can attend that and have enough time to come back to Lana and do the Brew Fest. So.
And it'd be a good way to spend the weekend.
Correct.
Okay, any others? Okay, moving along. We have Employee Service Awards for July. Okay, we have Kevin Grasmick in the Water Department, hired on July 1st, 2020 as a Water Maintenance Worker 1, currently at level C, water certified. He isn't here this evening. Thank you for your service, Kevin. And then we have Henry Miller, electric, hired on, come on up. Hired on July 1st, 2015 as a light plant operator apprentice, became a light plant operator on November 1st, 2017. Transferred to the line crew in September of 2019 and is currently the electric meter substation technician.
Good job, Hank.
Well, thank you, Shannon.
You can say something if you like. We're not.
Does Chris have anything to say about Jim?
Do you want to come up and say
Yeah,
hi,
now's your
Chris?
chance.
Sure.
How is he as an employee?
He's a great employee. I mean, you could show up having a bad day and this guy just turns your day around. And he just shows up, does his job, goes home, no drama, nothing. Perfect employee. Really glad to have him.
Well, thank you, Chris.
It's been a pleasure working for the city. That's very much. No, go ahead, please.
Good job, Henry.
You're welcome.
Here.
Thank you.
Got it.
Thanks.
Who wants it? He smells it.
Reports. Sorry. Reports. Property Management Fund Audit. Michael?
All right, thank you. So this audit was originally directed to me by the city council upon my arrival here to the city as a new city manager. The purpose of the audit was to better understand where a property manager was in terms of funds, properties, leases, etc. I do want to thank Brock, Hinkhouse, and Lisa, and Brad, and the recently retired Bill Jackson for all their input and all their help with helping me get all this stuff put together. So some of the basic findings that I did discover, for the most part, everything is going well. As far as property management as a whole, everything seems to be going very well. There was one lease that we discovered that had expired in 2023. We were able to get that new lease signed with no issues. Then there was another lease that we discovered that was non-performing, and we were able to work with those folks and get them back into performing, and haven't had any further issues with that lease. Some of the things I think some of the things we're going to work on. We have, a few properties that are that the city owns, or that property management has, that are just junked up like bad, and I don't understand. I didn't quite understand why. A couple of the specific ones was out by the airport, and then one out of Prairie View. So again, that was one of the things we're going to work on. Then another thing, it's kind of came up that property management. We have 3 houses at the old bomb plot that are out there, and one of the issues that first came up with the whole property management audit was we were looking at a shortfall situation within the property manager budget. So it's going to be my opinion that if something does happen and property management does look like it's going to have another shortfall, that we look into surplusing those properties and selling them. Going forward, we are going to be making arrangements to clean up the identified properties. Also, we are going to be able to track our stuff a little bit better, so we don't have these leases that fall off and us not see it for 2 years. So we're going to create a spreadsheet that we'll be able to forecast leases and when they expire and whatnot. One of the other issues that we did see, and again this goes back to the budgeting of it, is some of the deferred maintenance that we have on a lot of these properties. A lot of roofs, sidings, HVAC systems, etc. That are all going to come due one of these days, and it's going to be a matter of us, planning properly in order to make sure we stay on top of that stuff while staying within the budget and moving on down the road. Again, overall, there wasn't anything that was just, oh my gosh, this is awful, what are we doing here, sort of situation. It was a great learning opportunity for me, being the new city manager. Great opportunity for Brock being the new public property management coordinator. So again, a lot of time to work together to better understand how it works and everything. I'd be happy to answer any questions, and we got Brock here tonight too. In case I forgot something, he'll probably remember.
So those properties that are pretty junked out, you guys are going to start working on them to
Chandra, microphone.
To fix or to demo or sell?
I don't know about selling, especially the one at the airport. Where it's at, it's not in a position that I think we'd be able to sell to do anything with, because it butts right up against, on the tarmac right there. But they're just junk, and I think, as a city, we're asking citizens, and we're going out code enforcement, enforcing codes, and again, there's several properties that the city wouldn't pass the code if we had a code enforcement officer coming after the city. Just a lot of weird junk is what it is, and it just seems like stuff was taken down or whatever and just stuffed here, there, and everywhere and forgot about for decades. Is what it seems like to me, Brock. Again, you've been here longer than I have, but it just seems like it's just been there for decades. It's just collecting just real big old thick layers of dust on a lot of things. So just a lot of cleanup that I think we need to do, and that we're going to get scheduled in and get that stuff taken care of.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, no problem.
I have a question pertaining to the properties you stated at Purview. You said there are 3.
So the city, or the property manager, owns 3 houses out there. They're all rented out right at this time. But again, I think they're properties that, in the event of a property manager shortfall on the budget side of things, I think they could be surplus and sold to make up for that shortfall, if need be. Again, that's a total if need situation, because again, that was kind of one of the things that spurred this audit to begin with, is that we were looking at a shortfall in the property management budget.
So the 3 properties that are at the bomb plot, are they currently being rented? Do they have leases?
Yes.
And those are at market value?
Brock, would you say they're at market value?
Close, maybe a little low.
Okay.
When they signed the agreement, they were market value, I would say.
Okay. I think that is in the best interest of the city, that we're using properties at the highest value.
And that's with all properties. That's with all properties across the board. But I just isolated those 3 in the instance of a shortfall on the budget side, or on the budget with property management.
Okay. Well, I guess my broader question then is, how did you determine that all of the leases, the properties that are under leases, were negotiated at correct market value?
All those were done before Brock took over, before I got here, with the exception of one, and that's the one that I did literally my first day here with Lewis.
Okay.
Those are all done prior to us being in the positions we're in.
But the leases should have an expiration date, or?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So when is that coming in?
I don't know. We'd have to pull the sheet and look.
Okay, so let's say that they come due at the end of this year, top of next year, then you guys will reevaluate them and get them up to the...
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, then I guess my question is, how will you determine in the future that future leases are at market value and we're not giving away potential revenue for the city?
And again, I will leave this up to Brock to determine. But again, there's all sorts of metrics out there that we can go out and find to determine what those rates may be.
Okay. And then I had asked this last time we had the original, the reason we wanted the audit of property management was much more on the process side, I thought, of how raises were determined at the end of the year and came out of the property management budget, and I think that's more of a question and concern.
And I apologize. That was my second page here. So after visiting with Eliza about that, it was determined that there was only one raise that was done after the budget was done out of property management.
Okay, so what's the process going forward for not doing raises outside of the agreed upon process?
Well, again, I'm going to be keeping a better eye on things. I imagine Brock's going to be doing the same.
Okay, and then there was a question about where economic development is. That previously it had come from economic or property management, or it had been moved to property management. How is economic development funded?
I got to step up here on this one. Economic development is paid for through property management. At this moment in time, it is budgeted to move money from property management to economic development. That will continue as it is budgeted. Going forward, that's a question of council, whether or not economic development continues to be funded through property management or whether or not you guys decide you want to do it somewhere else. And we're just starting the budget process now, so it's a conversation worth having. The second thing I wanted to note is your 3 properties at Prairie View. You may not know this because it's been 20 years, but I know Mel does. Those houses were up for sale. They were up for sale for, I want to say 8, 9 years. The auditors finally said you cannot keep them in short term. They are not short term. They've been for sale longer than 5 years, at which point we removed them from assets for sale to full-on assets, at which time I believe those leases were done to rent those properties since we were unable to sell them at what is considered market value at the time. So.
And what year was that?
20 years ago.
You're the one that said.
Well, let's see. It was before I became the finance director, so it was before 2015, so I want to say 2010? 2010 or 11.
During the housing market crash, you couldn't sell houses. Wow.
At this point, I couldn't even tell you what they were priced at.
That's fine.
I just know that
I
they sat
appreciate
on
the
that.
information. And
And that would have been before you or Brock, so you guys you wouldn't
For
have
sure.
known.
Nope.
And the only reason I know is because that was like my first.
Cool.
Yeah. And so economic development, yes, it's a line item in the property management budget, and it says economic development, and you can see it on your financial as well. And that is something that has to be discussed because what currently is put in there was based on Cynthia's budget.
Okay.
And now you are going a new direction, or you're not doing everything she was doing. I guess that's the easiest
No,
way
and
to say.
I felt like that was a lot of the reason why we, as a council, asked for the audit in the first place, is understanding more what we had available to us to work with for economic development. So thank you, that answers that question.
And it was that, but it was also just looking at the lease agreements because one was coming to an end and they needed to be prepared earlier. So I think it was just looking at all of them and that.
And I don't mean to backtrack a little bit, but when we were talking about as we go through our leases, how are we going to determine whether they're fair and what they are? Everyone's a little bit different on what their needs are and what they do and the amount of building that they have. And so as they come up, we'll look at that. Michael and I will discuss it, and then we'll determine whether we need to raise it, keep it the same, or what we need to do. So.
New business. First reading. First reading an ordinance making supplemental appropriations to the Outdoor Conservation Fund for the calendar year 2025. Can I get a motion? Oh, they want to speak first. Go ahead.
No, I'm waiting for a motion.
Okay.
You can speak prior.
We can still do discussion. Go ahead.
Yeah. You want me to go ahead?
Go ahead.
Probably better we do prior.
This comes from the numerous, 5 grants?
6 or 7.
6 or 7 grants that we applied for to replace the city park tennis courts that were all denied. We have now saved enough money in the Conservation Trust Fund that Brock and Michael had a discussion and requested, and now we're requesting that you guys allow for us to do a budget amendment to use that money for those tennis courts. You'll see in your packet that we've added all the quotes. And other than any questions you have that Brock and I are here to answer, you said would this be going towards like September, October-ish?
Yeah, well, we want to make sure that they can still use the courts for the early Saturday beer garden. And so it'll be after that. I don't think that they would be able to finish it by the end of the year, but they thought they could get everything finished short of the surfacing of the new courts. And that would have to wait till next spring when it warms up.
So you guys did accept a bid on that?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
Just to remind us, outdoor conservation fund, where does that money come from and how does it accumulate?
That is your lottery dollars at work. It's my favorite fund.
Yeah.
Yes, this is,
So
we
we
get
accumulate
these.
it, we save it, we decide to
We
spend it on
get
something
these-
exciting.
Yes, we get these monies from the Colorado Lottery based on lottery sales, winnings and things like that. They have some formula that they do. And we get about $20,000 quarterly from them. Sometimes a little more, sometimes a little less. It's based on your population. We do save this money. We try to get mini grants, GoCo grants and things like that. We have really wanted to replace these tennis courts for years, and so we didn't do anything but these grants because we wanted to ensure that we had the match if we ever got one. And now we're just to the point where we're not going to get a grant, and so we had to, the decision has to be made. When I say we, I mean everybody needs to make this decision. Do you want the tennis courts replaced, or do you want them to just deteriorate more? Because we're not going to get a grant. We've tried too many times. GoCo, which is Go Colorado, which is also part of the lottery, they've changed how they do things, and they're not wanting to. I don't even understand how they.
They keep saying it's a holistic approach to things. It's community driven and broad based and whatever. I was always a little confused by that because our master plan did call this a critical community want. But it doesn't fit into how they're lending right now. So that's why we decided to go down this route and see if we can get it done this way. And this was one of our big major things on our master plan that came out in 2021, and they made it a critical need. So.
And I will tell you that he went and got all of the bids and then called and said, how much money do we have? And then I gave him the amount and he said, oh my gosh, we might be able to afford it. So due diligence was done.
Good job on all your saving for that and all the grant looking after, so.
Everybody go buy a lottery to celebrate. All right.
Can I get a motion?
I'll move approval of the ordinance making a supplemental appropriation to the Outdoor Conservation Fund for the calendar year 2025.
I'll second.
Any discussion? We already did it. Can I ask you any further discussion? Okay, can I get your voice? Your voice. Motion passes. Okay. A resolution for a declaration of special events.
So this is in the peddler permit section. I have to look at the thing to tell you the exact one. But if council deems an event a special event, then citizens or vendors of said event do not have to come in and buy a peddler permit, which costs $10 per day. It does not negate them from collecting tax and remitting tax. It does not stop that. All it says is that you don't have to come and get a permit from me, as well as pay for your booth and pay for all of that. In the past, Early Settlers Days was in that ordinance. Then when we redid the peddler, it was gone. Now, I don't know if that took it away or not. So when we were discussing Tarantula Fest, and I said, hey, Early Settlers not in there, maybe we should also put Tarantula Fest in there. So that's why they're both listed, because I don't know if whatever happened negated what was already there. I don't know. But all this does is mean you don't have to come to my office, fill out an application, and get a permit and pay $10. But you still have to go through all of the other things to be a vendor at these events, and you still have to collect and remit tax to the state of Colorado. You follow that?
Yeah.
Questions?
So in the future, if there's another event and they want to request the same exemption, what process should they do?
They should come to me or Michael, or they can even come and ask you guys, and you can say, yeah, we would like you to write up a resolution, because the resolution, it only takes one reading, or you can even make I guess you can make a motion during council, couldn't you, Mel? We prefer it in writing, it's easier. But yeah, just anybody can come to me or Michael or you guys and then you come to us.
So if someone was going to have a special event, not just for the 1 year, but let's say going forward, like Early Settlers Day and Tarantula Fest, then if they came and did the one-time resolution to get on that, would they be like grandfathered in with this one, so they wouldn't have to come back every year?
Yes, this is a permanent resolution.
So they would just be added to this?
They would just be added to that, yes.
Thank you.
Those are the two that have been the longest standing. I did ask Michael to ask if anybody else wanted to add anybody. He did come and say, we want to add another event, so those were the two that I put on there. Or if they did tell him, he forgot to tell me.
The only one I can think of is the Parade of Lights.
The what?
The Parade of Lights.
Do we have vendors at that?
Few. Maybe they've never come and got their permits.
Nobody's
Also-
ever come and gotten a permit for Parade of
Never mind.
Lights.
Never mind. I withdraw everything
At the
I said.
4th of July, when parades.
Nobody's ever come and got a permit for the 4th of July. At this point, I would stop if I were you.
Remember, for barbecue.
Well,
I'll be talking to the ordinance officer.
listen, I'm not setting up a booth, but what do they pay for setting up a booth to begin with? I mean, $10 to us.
$25 for a vendor at Tarantula Fest, unless you're selling food, and then it's $50. I do not know what Early Settlers is. That's through the chamber.
I don't know what it is for sure.
I guess,
I tried to put you on the spot. So, I'm not sure what those are.
I just want to be sure that it's not cost prohibitive for people to come and set up things, so.
But it's by the organizing committees for the.
That's the organizing committee that does that. The only reason I know how much Tarantula Fest is because we take some of the money from them. But they have their own bank account, Tarantula Fest. Well, they don't have their own, they have their own line item, and all of their money runs through the city. Yeah, Tarantula Fest. All their money runs through the city, through tourism, and it's its own line in the liabilities. If you look, it says Tarantula Fest, and there's a dollar amount, and that is what is in their bank, their portion of what's in there. And so because I handle all of their money, I know how much they charge. But all this does is say you don't have to pay a $10 fee to get a piece of paper with my signature on it. It's a stamp. And yes, you can add if you want. These were just, like I said, Early Settlers Days was on there before. I don't know if it still counts since they redid the peddler permit and it's not on there. And then Tarantula Fest, I've had a bunch of phone calls, and so I told them all to call me tomorrow.
No, this seems reasonable and streamlining it, making it easier for people to do stuff. So, yeah, good idea.
And I'll talk to the chamber.
Yeah, I don't know how much theirs is. I think they're probably in the same ballpark.
That's what I would say too.
No? They're more? They're more.
Oh, there is a difference in
Yeah,
in
and
that.
that's so.
It's a different celebration. The Tarantula Fest is more tourism attraction, where the Early Settlers Day is more celebration.
Of La Junta. Yeah, and it's put on by the chamber.
But if you're a member, you get a discount. She said,
Vendor booths,
Oh,
nonprofit
verify.
$50, craft vendor 100, commercial information sales 125, food and beverage is 150.
Yep,
Chamber members do get the $20 discount.
5 times the price.
if anyone wants to be a
I just
member,
want to
they
say
can
Tarantula
come.
Fest is cheap. I think maybe we ought to talk to the board.
Thank you guys for thinking of this.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Can I get a motion?
I make a motion to approve the resolution for declaration of special events.
Second.
I'm going to ask for your votes. And that passes unanimously. Committee and board reports.
I'll start with the utility board meeting that we had on the 7th, 8th of this year. Routine maintenance at the RO plant. At the distribution, they're continuing hydrant maintenance, so they're going around checking all the hydrants, making sure they're working
just so you know that our water department's going out there and they are doing between service repairs between 2 and 4 a day. So I know there's been some long-standing leaks around town. I know there was one on Edison that they finally got around today, and I don't mean that to be disparaging when I say finally. It's just that they've been busy with maintenance in that area. For the electric department, they've been experiencing a few minor interruptions with the light plant substation. Currently, there's about 3,000 customers being served by that substation, with about 558 transformers connected to it. There's various factors including these bumps, including birds, snakes, squirrels, hairline cracks in the insulators, tree branches, weather-related issues, and electrical tracking that may have caused some of these outages. So again, we apologize for any inconveniences, but that's just what happens when critters get in your infrastructure sometimes. They're continuing to do the trimming and pole reinforcement at this time. And again, if you're trimming your hedges, your shrubs, your branches out of your yard, please don't stack them up against the utility pole, because if there's a spark on that particular pole, then we can have a fire, and then that can just be more detrimental and hazardous for everybody involved. And Martin Montoya is going to be going around, or has been going around, to various commercial entities for the cardboard plant, because the utility board is probably going to be considering a rate for the cost of those cardboard collection sites that we're going to set up. That's it.
Any other committee and board reports? City manager comments.
Lisa talked about it a little bit ago, but we are getting ready to start the budget process. I believe we emailed out the tentative timetable to everyone last week, and we'll be doing our best to stick to that as closely as we can. MMOF, I've talked about that a couple weeks ago, but no big update on that. We're still in the process of getting all that rolling out. I'm going to be working, as y'all instructed me last time, I'm still working on the ordinance for the trailer parking on city streets. I've got all of my research put together, all the objective facts. I've put together a few different options. I actually have a meeting tomorrow morning with Jenny Matthews, who was here last time. I want to get her thoughts on it as well. Then I'll have something for you all in August about that. Working with Pam Denahy with tourism for ordinance for lodging for short-term rentals, Airbnbs, VRBOs, stuff like that. Also still putting together all the economic development stuff, bylaws, that board makeup, stuff like that. I'm hoping that's probably going to be my big thing after we get through the budget, is to get that really rolled out. And so I'm hoping by this fall to have something to present to you all to go with. To date, we have done 1,443 fare-free rides out of the senior center. Again, a great program we was able to get a grant for this year, so we still have another month or so for those. I did want to plug the Annie production coming up, but also wanted to give a shout out to all the folks over at Picket Wire. For those who haven't seen Anastasia, wonderful performance. So great job, Picket Wire folks. I do want to encourage everybody to go out and see Annie this weekend. I imagine it's going to be another good one. Police in the Park is coming up on August 1st from 6 to 7:30 p.m. Then, as Nancy said, Brewfest this weekend. And last but not least, I want to embarrass my kids here for just a moment, because I actually convinced them to come to a council meeting. So two of my kids are here tonight. They're staying here with me for the summer. Kaylee and Gavin Hart back there in the back. Love you guys. Especially you know I was going to call you out, huh?
Yeah, I know.
I was going to do it if you didn't. So.
Yeah, right. But anyway, no, it's been great having them here in town this summer. In fact, I think one of them is actually going to become a permanent resident here, maybe sometime soon.
No pressure.
Yeah. Anyways, we'll see. That's all I have. Let's see what has any questions.
July 30th.
Yeah. Can you give details about the July 30th, the public budget outreach at the senior center?
That's pretty much it. We're going to roll the budget stuff out there. So it's from 5 to 7 there at the senior center. Come on out. This is when we get all the public input from anybody wants to come out. I want to encourage the various departments to Is there a fine for that?
There should be.
We should establish a fine for that. I want to encourage all the various departments to bring out any fun toys they may have, like fire trucks, the bucket trucks, police cars, stuff like that. It should be a good time. We're hoping for a good time, hoping for a good turnout, and again, we're hopefully be able to share a lot of information with everybody and get a lot of good feedback, questions, comments, concerns, etc. As we enter into the budget process.
Yeah, it was a good event last year. I appreciate that you're doing it again this year. So thank you.
We didn't have a lot of turnout last year, so maybe we'll get some more people.
I mean, maybe. Maybe get a dunk tank there for the mayor. I mean, he's not here to defend himself. So.
Or you.
I
want to miss Sarah.
Oh my goodness. Yes, Betty.
When is it going to be?
July 30th.
Wednesday.
Yes,
Next
ma'am.
Wednesday.
At what time?
5 to 7 p.m. at the Senior Center.
We can put it in the Rocky Ford.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Any other questions?
Yeah, well, not a question, but a statement. You know, you had mentioned it in the property management, but do appreciate you looking after, I guess it'd be more the code enforcement issues on city properties. I know recently we had one about, you know, a city-owned property that was in the county, that was in the middle of the city, and, you know, people kind of look at all that stuff, especially if our code enforcement is issuing out fines for weeds. So thank you for taking an extra effort to make sure we stay up on that, because it's, in my opinion, as a council member, it's kind of hard to write citizens tickets when the city is probably sometimes out of compliance worse. So,
agreed.
You know, that definitely makes code enforcement's job a lot easier when we are on the up and up, you know, for the same violations.
Absolutely.
So, thank you for paying better attention.
And for cleaning up in front of the building here. I know the side and the back, I don't know what it looks like, but I'm glad, I was thankful to come up the street on my lunch and see that it had all been taken care of.
Looks nice. Governing, anything else?
That's all I have. Let's see if anybody has any questions for me.
Governing body comments?
I'll go. It's out there everywhere, but Parks and Recs, youth volleyball, and flag and tackle football registration is on. Youth volleyball, July 21st through August 22nd. K through 2, 3rd and 4th, 5th and 6th, $30. Football is the same, cost $30, thanks to a gracious donation by Inspiration Field. So flag football is K through 2, tackles 3rd and 4th, 5th and 6th. That was the first one, and then the second one, I want to put a congrats to major planner of the art project, Zeke Ayala. He was invited to paint St. Louis 2025. That happens Labor Day weekend, August 29th through 31st. It's probably one of the biggest graffiti deals in that area of the United States that's going on, and he got invited to that. So I want to congratulate him, and then anybody who's willing to donate to that, he's looking for donations just to help him out along the way. So you can get at him on Facebook, and if you've got something you can help him out with. So
Anyone else?
Really quick, reminded by our manager, Inspiration Field did a very generous donation of $1,600 to make the fees for participating in Parks and Rec more achievable and lower. So thank you to Inspiration Field for helping raise that money and pass it on to the city.
Not only La Junta, but they did all the surrounding rec departments as well. So
yeah. So shout out to Inspiration Field.
Thank you, Inspiration Field. Anything else? This meeting is adjourned.
I'm gonna make Michael buy dinner tonight.
Yes.
I mean, is the camera still on? I'll save that. Say this to me outside. I got something for that.
I know where it goes.
Watch out for the door. It won't let me.